Good afternoon to you, everybody. How are you? It is good to see you. It is good to be seen by you. And I, being glad about the seeing and the being seen, and am, of course, Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud, and clear on a Monday. Damien247, Tracy Thompson, Michael Dale, Dungeon Delvers, that always weirds me out. TXG, Great Old Ones, Gonzalo, Squirrel Hermit, Joe Kaufman, how are you all? And everyone else out there. It's a special hello to the, gosh, nearly 100 people. It just kind of blows me away who've subscribed since Friday. Them's big numbers for me. And I'm not just sitting here, I'm not just tooting my own horn. That's pretty large. Hey, Hager the Horrible, thank you very much for the super. I really appreciate that, brother. Thank you for throwing in 5, Hager. Thank you so much. But anyway, yeah, so anyway, if you're watching this live stream and you're new to the channel, but you haven't already subscribed, please do click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. If you're watching this post ex facto, that is after the fact, in Latin or in English, I don't care what language you watch it in, although I have an interesting story about that. Do me a favor and leave a comment down below on the video. It helps the live streams. People think I don't have a lot of videos. Guys, I have like 1,500 videos. It's just that, oh, Gonzalo Lira, thank you very much. Yeah, Dungeon Delvers, that's fine, just not right now. Okay. I won't be able to respond to you right now in a DM. But anyway, so yeah, I was pretty darn surprised by that, and yeah, that's noteworthy. That's screen worthy. But no, I just wanted to thank everybody who has subscribed. I did not expect that video about the customer agreement for Wizards of the Coast to blow up. Email me, Hagar. My email address is actually right down there. Shoot it to me an email if it's long and convoluted. But anyhow, so anyway, yes. Rare is it that I do what I'm about to do, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So I put out a video on Friday. I am not apologizing for it. I am not taking back anything I said, but I am going to correct myself because it is important that we get the facts right. It is just as important that we get the facts right about things as it is that I report on things. And this is it. The customer agreement at Wizards of the Coast was not new. It dates back to 2021. That doesn't make it better. That doesn't make what they say in there better. Oh, well, how can you complain about it? It's been going on this long. I mean, that's like finding out your house has termites and you can't, they've been here for 20 years. What do you mean? I honestly, everybody said, I got that from someone. I'm not going to dox them because I don't want them to appear the instigator here. But I thanked them for sending me the information. And then when I saw other people talking about the information, I was like, hey, wait a minute. And someone mentioned this is new. So it wasn't new. So it was from 2022. More people in the comments said, oh my God, I wasn't aware of this. And Michael Connor the Nose is going up for 30 days plus 5 probation. If we're talking about the same person. So the facts, with the exception of the date, are the same. The awfulness of it is really even worse. That somebody dug through and found that information. And everything I said in that video, I still stand by, except the date. I can't go back and change the date. I can't go back into the video and overdub myself saying 2021. I mean, I could, but it would screw up the video's metrics. I'm not going to do that. I stand by everything I said, and I thank everyone who pointed that out. Real guys, I'm not kidding. I appreciate that. I love you to pieces. Thank you so much for pointing that out and not letting it just hang out there in space without a note, without a correction. So I really, 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 really appreciate that. And I said, and speaking of comments, because I mentioned other languages and so on, I just on a lark turned on auto dubbing. And there was a person, if you're watching this video, and I hope you're watching this video, maybe you're watching it later, I want to thank you specifically. A viewer in Japan said, "Thank you for turning on auto dubbing so I could understand this video. I really appreciate it. And it helps me understand just how terrible." I'm paraphrasing, but basically they said, thanks for letting me know this is bad, you know. I appreciate my viewers from all over the world. A strong contingent of people in the Pacific Rim watch the show. Got New Zealanders, folks from Australia. One person once said that they were watching me from Taiwan. Like it was like the morning show for them. So that was pretty neat. So yeah, I'm not backing down off a single thing that I said in that video. I will double down on it, in fact. Now, tomorrow, Wizards of the Coast is supposed to release their latest update to their efforts with I've heard that, Gonzalo Lira. With their efforts to put things under Creative Commons. They're supposed to have a big update tomorrow. From what I understand, for Old School, nothing. There will be no good announcements for Old School. But they also just said they'd look into it. We know that's a lie. We know that whoever comes in can simply say, that was the old management. I'm not up to speed on that. I've just got to get going on this, because they've been gutted at the top. The C-suite has been cleaned out. That is correct, Tracy Thompson, and I think that is a very good analogy. They spread their seeds around everywhere and then try and tax people for using them. I do want to mention one thing, though. This was in the comments, and this is going to sound like a call-out comment. So I'm not going to name the person's name. I don't want that. Someone left a comment where basically they said that I was disrespecting people that watch my video because of my speech cadence, that I was taking too long. I'm 3 minutes into the video and I don't understand what you're saying, and I've even got you going at like 1.5 times speed. This is disrespectful to your viewers. Go watch something else. I'm serious. Go watch something else. This is how I talk. Sorry. Disrespectful to my viewers would be kissing Wizards of the Coast's ass. Disrespectful to my viewers would be dropping the original intent of this channel, which is to talk about classic TTRPG material, and to completely skip out on the positive vibe that I try and bring. That long, awkward pause was just for you, person who was complaining in the comments. So I'm not, you know, I'm sorry that my cadence isn't brain rot. That you know, I don't do like horizontally split screens of me talking for like a minute and 10 seconds while sewer runner or a subway surfer is being played in the lower half of the screen. And everything I say is robotic and auto-tuned, and there is a caption underneath it. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't present my content like that. I'm sorry that I do long-form content and that I have thoughtful pauses in what I say, and that I consider the things that I say before I say them. Just go watch somebody else's content. You know, disrespectful to my viewers. I could do a million things on this channel that would be disrespectful to you guys. None of them involve my speech patterns. This is how I talk. All right. If you want me to speed up, crank the speed up. If I'm not getting to the point, skip ahead in the video to where you think the point might be. Thank you for watching, Eric. I appreciate that. That's the you know what, Tracy? Oh, camera jump cuts, exactly. Yeah, that is completely around the bend. They told you you're gatekeeping because you only play first and second edition. How insane. How completely broken. Let me tell you something. I don't care what edition of D&D you like. I don't. I really don't. I don't edition war anymore. I know what I love. I'll tell you why I think AD&D is awesome, because it's where the black magic is. And I've talked to you guys about that before. I'm not going to edition war with you. But when I sit down at my table, I play first and second edition. If you think I'm trying to keep you out of the hobby by playing, first of all, you should sit down and play it. You will like it. Nobody has ever walked away from my table saying, that sucked. I've never had a comment card come back in an event, a convention, comments from people who played in my game saying, you are a bad DM. First edition AD&D is a bad game. Quite the contrary. My cadence reminds you of Red Reddington. Oh, Tracy, how good to see you. Listen, a mutual friend of ours from Dubai, I believe you're aware of who he is, has been causing a bit of a kerfuffle in New York City. I'm going to send Dembe by to pick you up later. I'll need to borrow you for a weekend. I hope that doesn't put you out. But anyway, I just thought it was weird, Gonzalo. I just thought it was weird. And I appreciate everyone who is subscribed to this channel. Every person who's subscribed to this channel. People are like, man, I wish I could join your Patreon. I wish I could join your YouTube memberships. Dudes and dudettes, the best thing you can do, the best thing you can do for me is click the subscribe button. It really is. Yes, I would love to wake up tomorrow and have 5,000 patrons and 10,000 YouTube members. It's not going to happen. I'm so far in hock with my Master Thief tier supporters that I don't even want to talk about it. I'm working on it, guys. Blacklist was a fantastic show. Thank you, Jay. But I just I did not expect the video to blow up to 10,000 views. And again, that so many people came in and so many people clicked subscribe and so many more people are now being exposed to the kind of content that makes me happy, talking about classic TTRPGs, then I'm happy. That makes me happy. So, you know, I just I just want to, you know, just be the first edition AD&D guy on YouTube, or one of them. Speaking of cool stuff, I saw this today. If you guys aren't subscribed to RPG Grandma, small channel, great content. She is a busy woman. She talked about Warrior of Mars today. If you don't know Warriors of Mars, first of all, you can find it. Just download a PDF of it. It was a TSR quasi skirmish RPG, proto RPG, RPG from right around the time original Dungeons and Dragons was released. So you can play OD&D with it, or you can play kind of a Bronstein style RPG with it. But like you can't, it's not like just, oh, I'll roll up a character and, you know, we'll do a campaign. It takes some work, but she did a great little video. It's like 8 minutes over on her channel. If you guys want to know more about it, she's done a couple of deep dives, and I recommend it. I strongly recommend checking it out, and throw her a subscription. Yeah, she really is Squirrel Hermit. She's a wonderful lady, and she stops in here sometimes in the live stream. But anyway, let me talk to you guys. Let me tell you a little bit about what's coming up in the week, and especially for my new peeps. In fact, could you guys like maybe like shift seats with them, let them sit closer to the front? Oh, that's great, Dungeon Delvers. That's awesome. Congratulations, man. So if you don't know what we do and how we do it, tomorrow we're going to do a live play, and we do it every week on Tuesday night, assuming good health, no holidays, no vacation. Tomorrow night we are going to do a live play of first edition AD&D. We have a long running campaign with a great stable of players. Maybe the only familiarity you have with this content are big channels. They tend to do it a little differently than how I do it. I need a haircut. I look like Riff Raff from Rocky Horror Picture Show. This stuff's finally got to go. You guys are going to see me with a Johnny Unitas buzz cut next time. Anyway, oh, Hager, you can stay put then. Jeez. But we don't have like script reads. We don't have rehearsals. We don't do table reads. We don't do writing sessions. We play AD&D. We play first edition AD&D. And I tell everybody, look, 5 minutes into the night, everybody could be rolling up new characters, and we're talking about the new campaign we're going to play, because they get TPK'd. It has happened before. It has come close to happening again. Exactly. See, Gonzalo knows what time it is. So we're playing that on Tuesday nights. We've got Doomsword Deathmaster. He's at Doomswords on YouTube. Great YouTube channel we have Timothy Imholt at Timothy Imholt, another fun YouTuber. We've got who else do we have? Oh, we have Thane Kyle. He is at DN Disability here on YouTube. He does history stuff. He does tabletop gaming stuff. And then we have Kevin. He's just Kevin, and he's awesome. So we have a lot of good guys gaming with us. And I hope you'll watch. That's Tuesday from 9 to 11 Tuesday. Is there better TV out there? Probably. But not better first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons live play TV. What else do we have? Wednesday, I'm supposed to have my co-host back from Australia. Well, I mean, he'll still be in Australia. But Kyle, I think he got his PC hooked up. I'm going to be talking to him. If not, we're going to do a deep dive on some stuff. I will find something in the library and we will deep dive the hell out of it. And we will talk about it and we will enjoy it. Thursday is usually, I have guests on Thursday. Don't currently have anybody lined up. So Thursday will be a deep dive and vibe kind of night also. Friday night, I crashed your party. Saturday, I said I'm sorry. Sunday came, you trashed me out again. Friday night, I will be playing Gamma World. Classic Gamma World, much as we play first edition AD&D and with some of the same people. We will be here with that's terrible, Gonzalo. We have again Doomsword Deathmaster, again Kevin, but also on Friday night, Yang Yan Zhao, who has a YouTube channel. I'm bringing you guys all the little niche YouTuber. I'm like the Alternative Tentacles record label of niche TTRPG YouTubers, right? It's like I can't find these guys out there, and getting all these other stuff. But we'll have Yang here. He's at Yang Yan Zhao 4. And Kennick, she hangs out in the chat sometimes. Saturday, El Sábado Gigante. Hey, Greg, roll tide. Saturday is not a me stream. It is a stream of me and my fellows, because Saturday at 3 p.m. I will be here. Dungeon Minister will be here. And Yang Yan Zhao will be here, not here, but over on our channel, the Nerd Council of Doom, where we will assault your pop culture sensibilities, plug straight into your cerebral cortexes, and subject you to mind control waves. And you will become our willing servants in the unending war on pop culture. So tune in to that. You, the people, demand more Kevin. He's here both nights. I mean, I could interview him if you want. I don't know what he'd want to talk about, but so that's the week. That's the week ahead, guys. I wish this was the point at which, yes, Hagar, I just roll tide. I'm an Alabama fan. Your tinfoil hatchet. No. We use special waves. We use special radiation waves. One of my miniatures, we haven't done Miniature Monday, and I've showed this guy off before, but I'm gonna show it to you real quick. I'm not really set up to show a miniature. Most of you guys have seen this before, but this is for Hager. who's probably either typing furiously War Eagle at me or unsubscribing to my channel, or he's typing something pro Bama. This guy here on the end of my thumb, I think the jump zoom is probably still not enough. Yeah, you can kind of see it against my shirt there. I bought this. Oh dear, he cast War Eagle. I bought this at the Paul Bear Bryant Museum on the campus. Not this past October, but the October before, because some fans of the show sent me there and met me there because I had never been to an Alabama game. Even growing up in Alabama when I was a kid, we never got to go to a game. If we had the money, it was because Dad was working his ass off. If we had the time, we didn't have the money. So I never got to see Coach Bryant coach Alabama through arguably their best run in the 1970s and very early 1980s. And even when they came here to Central Florida for bowl games, we still were never able to go. I had tickets to the 2018 Iron Bowl. I couldn't get a ride up there. I was going to have sat in the student section, and I couldn't go. And they made it happen. And while I was in the gift shop, I understand, Hager. While I was in the gift shop, I bought a handful of these, and I gave most of them away to friends. These are made from recycled plastic from the seats and other plastic fixtures that they retire at the stadium, which I think is pretty darn cool. So there's Miniature Monday. How about that? We had a Miniature Monday, an impromptu Miniature Monday. Hager, my parents were natives of Etowah County. Father Gadsden, mother Hoax Bluff. And that's where I lived. So it's where much of my formative geekness happens. It is where I saw Dungeons and Dragons for the first time. Although I didn't know what I was looking at the time, it is where I saw the Hobbit animated series, and my aunts, who also lived in Gadsden, gave me copies of Lord of the Rings. So it looms fairly significantly. Pardon me for just a minute, kids. I'll be right back. Thank you. I didn't realize that my wife's cat was shut in here with us, and she just was not about it. You're from Ozark. Nobody knows where that is. I don't even know where that is. I mean, we used to go on Sunday drives to Attala and Talladega. Oh, that's cool, Gonzalo. This is the point at which I wish I could take over the live stream and show you guys what awesome progress I have made in the D&D software. I broke it 6 ways to Sunday, starting on Friday afternoon. I kept trying to fix features. I'd fix one and I'd break 2. So none of the builds beyond just basically generate a character. There's the character. None of them work. I know the region. Okay. I know that region, Hagar. Not well, but I do know it. I'll tell you a funny story. When we were at that ball game, one of the guys who was with me, Big John. Now, when there's a ball game in Tuscaloosa, when Alabama's playing at home, the size of that town, which is nominally 90,000, that's not a tiny city. It jumps up again by about a quarter or maybe a half. So it goes from 90,000 to 120,000. Because that's 108,000 person college football stadium. It is one of the largest, if not the largest in the country. I'm standing there waiting to get back on the tour bus to go to the car park at the mall. My friend starts talking to the people in front of him. They're from the same small town in Alabama he's from. And I was like, we are in a crowd of 100,000 people, John. How is it? I can't even get the question out of my mouth when he's, pardon me, and yells and waves at a woman who apparently taught him middle school was walking by. Oh, man. Joe Kaufman asked me a question. Out of OD&D, Holmes, Moldvay, and Beckme, OD&D. I would say in order, OD&D for the vibe and the lethality, probably Holmes. I don't know. Holmes has got some rules weirdness that are particular to his own. So it's kind of tied with Moldvay. Beckme is way distant fourth or third. It is way down there. Don't care for it. It's like fantasy stereo instructions to me. Moldvay, Cook, basic expert. Holmes, introductory or original D&D. I try to be, Hager. I try to be. But anyway, so yeah, I have plenty of versions that work. Even the one that is in progress right now works. But things like leveling up characters properly has broken. I still am not even in the neighborhood of having bards done. The only thing as far as progress that it does right now is it does dual classing. I'm real proud of that. It does dual classing properly. I'm sorry, Dungeon Delvers. I just, oh, hey, Charles Latora, good to see you. I just, I play first edition AD&D. I love that more than any. And if you're going to put me down on the basic OD&D track, it's always going to be OD&D at the top of that list. I'll say this. I'll say this, Dungeon Delvers. I would, like, if you said Beckme or the Rules Cyclopedia, I would play Beckme because at least I could just play basic and expert and ignore the other boxes. It's too weird. It is too weird. The me, I didn't say the BE, I said the me. That's right, Jeffrey. First edition AD&D. Well, I'll play it anyway, Gonzalo. That's something else I'm going to do. Wednesday, I'm going to talk a lot about the guac. I'm not doing it right now because I'm not prepared. But Wednesday, I forgot to mention that. Wednesday, I am going to be talking about the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, which is something you can all do, and it will cost you $0. You'll join our Discord. You'll see games listed. There's a little widget on the Discord that you can click to join the game. Gonzalo Lira is going to run a game. Doomsword's going to run a game. I'm going to run at least 4 or 5 games. We are going to have artist panels. I got Richard Witters. I've got an artist writer panel happening. I'm going to have Sky Hernstrom. I'm going to do a panel with Alyssa Hazel. I'm going to do an art panel with Tracy Lesh. Tracy, I did art for original D&D, Lesh. Tracy, I designed the Mind Flayer, Lesh. Tracy, I did the illustrations for Gary's personal folio version of Tomb of Horrors that he used to carry around to conventions to run for fun. Lesh will be here. Matt Finch will be here. Matt Finch will be here. We'll be talking to Matt about Swords and Wizardry, about Mythmere game stuff, all kinds of cool stuff. So a lot of good people are going to be at the Guac. We're going to be throwing plenty of good games into the mix. Me, what am I running? Prize, I don't know, great old ones. I don't know. The prize, nobody claimed their prizes. I sent out like 3 or 4 prizes. Nobody really claimed theirs. I may do, I don't know. Where's my downloads folder? Man, somebody used the studio and messed up all my carts. But let's see, where is it? Where did it go? Oh, you know what? I can do this. But I'm going to run some D&D. I'm going to run some Space Hulk. I'm going to play some Dungeon. You guys will be able to play. I'm not saying like, well, I'm going to play it and you're going to watch it. And it'll be all on Discord. It's all free. It's all free. Yes, we've got merch. We got t-shirts, mugs, all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Let me see if I can find this. Because these guys were awesome. That's not what I want. It shouldn't be there. Yes, Boone. I use a lot of computer software to track stuff. My old brain, you know. Where is it? I can't find it. Dang it. Well, anyway, we're gonna have a lot of good games. That's right, Nerd Council this Saturday, Yay and Zao. There is 1/3, the other 1/3 of our big council. I bet, Gonzalo. By the way, Gonzalo, look up Recorded Live by Bill Burt, the sound engineer for Lucasfilms for many years. Look up the student film Recorded Live he did. It's creepy and horrible and worth your time. Yeah, Dungeon Delvers, anybody can sign up. Anybody can run a game. Keep it tasteful. Make it something that, you know, you're at the very worst, your teenage kid wouldn't feel like they had to report you to the cops. Absolutely. I want DMs. I want game masters. And Cyrus Wright wants art. So let me do this. Let me bring up some art. The first image here was created by Dungeon Minister. It is delightfully creepy. And now I have to click 9 things to get this on the screen. You guys can see that. That looks like something out of Gamma World. I love it. A computer mimic. Oops. Oh, I didn't know it would flash there. I hope you guys got a look at them. That was all of them. That one is by Sky Hernstrom, as is that one. Okay, I clicked through. All right. So we have that one by Dungeon Minister, that one by Sky Hernstrom, and that one by Sky Hernstrom. So there's our merch art. I really wish you'd run a classic version of D&D, Dungeon Delvers. I do. I mean, you do you, but I'm just saying. So yeah, we've got merch, we got discussions, we got panel discussions, guests that we're going to have, games galore, Dungeon, Space Hulk. We may, I may even do the Dungeons and Dragons Electronic Labyrinth game that I have a copy of over there that you guys can barely see because it's blown out and completely blurry. Is it in a dungeon mag? Are you asking me? Or is that a conversation out there? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, if I can find the online playable Dungeons and Dragons Electronic Labyrinth, I may run that. And we can just share that, all of us together. What else? Gosh. We're going to have a lot of fun, and that kicks off on May the 21st. It's coming up very soon, guys. It's a month away. It's only 30 days away. So I'm very excited about that. May the 21st to May the 25th. No travel fees, no hotel fees, no registration fees. The only snacks you got to pay for are what you have at home. Same goes for beer. You don't even have to get dressed for this convention. You can roll over, grab your phone, laptop, tablet, and just be like, well, I'm going to the convention. It's pretty cool. Okay. It's the GWOC, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. Why is it called that? Because it is. So, I know that Wheeling Dragon is going to be running some Labyrinth, the RPG. She's the Labyrinth mistress now. I'm excited about that. I think Dungeon Minister said he would run something, but I'm not going to hold him to it. I'm just going to confirm it. Guys, it's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a ton of fun. My wife's out there finishing up the spaghetti, and I am starving. I'm very excited about the con, though, and about eating dinner. So, in the last 15 minutes or so left, does anybody have any questions, any comments, any criticisms, any negative, nasty remarks? Bring it to me. I'd love to hear it. Let me see. Because I want to share this with you guys. I just want to brag. We're at 7,061 subscribers. When it dropped in the pot last Friday, when I just shared the opinions of how I felt about things, yeah, Friday we were at 6,974, and as of right now, we're 7,061. Why is it significant? Why do you care? Why do you care about my metrics? Why is that a thing that you would give a damn about? When I hit 10,000 subscribers on this channel, the GWOC will continue. Oh, what? Big deal? Oh, I'm sorry. That's on me. The Great Underground Overland gaming convention will commence. The Great Underground Overland Gaming Convention. That's right. Right here in sunny Central Florida, that lights the fuse, and we will begin a drive towards an in-person convention. I'll let you guys know. We're a ways off. We're just a hair under 3,000 subs away. That could be 3 years from now. I'm just telling you guys. It's not called DelverCon. It's not called DelverCon, Cyrus. It's not BillCon. It's not DelverCon. It is GWOC. Great Underground Overland Gaming Convention. We should have a Gamma World LARP Yang. We should do it. Wonderful Wizard of Games asks me, what is my opinion on every franchise in existence just suddenly getting a tabletop RPG? We go through these spates. Back in the early 2000s, Buffy, Army of Darkness, Angel, who's he? What's it? I've gone blank. Firefly got one. X-Files got one. There were lots of big franchise TTRPGs. Then it kind of went fallow for a little while. I would have thought that like a Once Upon a Time TTRPG would have been like printing money for the run that it was around. So yeah, if it takes 3 more years, it certainly will be Geriatricon, Gonzalo. So yeah, I would have thought that would have been just solid gold to do. But now, I mean, I mentioned Once Upon a Time was a weird thing. It's like my wife and I were obsessed with the show, and we're like, oh, the next season starts so and so, okay, and then like the year went by, and we're like, oh crap, we're okay. Well, we got to binge watch now, and we just never went back to it. And I think maybe a lot of people did that. I mentioned her and she appeared. I manifested the Wheeling Dragon. We were just talking about how you're going to run Labyrinth at GWOC. That's right. He did, Robert Phillips. Charles Latour says you practice ran your first solo dungeon adventure using a dungeon card deck that you got from Wiley Games. Your play was sloppy, but you had a lot of fun. Used minis. My table is 5 or 6. Original. Charles, that's amazing. I love it. I love it. Good for you. And we now have an even 100 folks watching the live stream. 31 of you guys watching me over on the Tube of Views, and 69. Nice. Over on X watching. If you're watching me over on X, give me a shout. Say hi. Don't be shy. Dry your eye. So yeah, the GWOC is going to be a lot of fun. Who knows? Maybe I will unmunge the character generation software. You know what? I've got a couple of supers in the bag. Maybe I will unfuck the character generation software and I'll have it available at the con. Who knows? Who knows? If it wasn't approaching finals, you would learn what old system for me, but it is what it's. Yeah, it is what it is. Nice, Gonzalo. Very nice. If 6 were 9. Gotta love that Hendrix reference, man. 103 people watching now. 3 people have joined us over here on YouTube. Hello, hello. Or maybe you've always been here and it just took a minute to update, but very nice. That's fine, Wheelie. That's fine. I'll pop you one tonight after I eat dinner. How about that? Anyway, last 10 minutes. Any questions, anyone? Any questions at all? I am going to fix the closing credits for the show. I like to thank everybody, whether you're a $1 patron, a $2 member, or $10 a month. I like to put your name in the closing credits. and say thank you. I wish I could put everybody's names, all 7,000 and good Lord, what did I say it was? 7,000 and numbers of you guys. I would happily. It's just like it would be. Okay, my show is an hour, and now here's the closing credits. They're an hour. Am I going to do A3? Yes, absolutely. A3 is on deck. Yes, yes, yes. Why do I dislike Kinders? They're awful in every way. The mandate is for them to steal from the rest of the party. Tee-hee, oops. And the saccharine twee writing. Nobody hates Kender. Nobody could raise their hand to hurt them. They're just the specialist, sweetest little guys. Even though they might have the potion of extra healing that you need because you're about to die. Even though you're desperately trying to find the scroll of banishment. Sausage Toes asks if I'm going to buy Daggerheart. Maybe. By the way, love the handle Sausage Toes. Oh, that's neat, Squirrel Hermit. Hey, Joe Kaufman, thank you very much. And I owe you. You don't owe me anything, brother. I owe you. Thank you. Smurfs are mammals. Yes, they are. I've decided. That is correct, Squirrel Hermit. That is the correct answer. What computer programs do I use right now and until I get my programs written? It is Excel. I have an Excel spreadsheet of characters and NPCs. Too many copies of Notepad saved with cryptic names like Mun Knight 427 ogres. And then there's just a bunch of numbers in it. It's the equivalent of like writing stuff down on a scrap of paper and sticking into the Dungeon Master's Guide. And of course, I run DOSBox X right now and have the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master's Assistant Volume 1 and Volume 2, keeping track of a lot of stuff in there. So that's what I use, Boone, and that's one of the reasons I'm working on this stupid computer program. The one thing I will say is Margaret Weiss made it canon that there is literally a metacosmic energy filter that stops Kender from leaving the Dragonlance universe. They cannot go infect Greyhawk, Dark Sun, Birthright, Forgotten Realm. They're bounced right back to their own planet. Yes, Wonderful Wizard of Games. That's just correct. That is correct. Only as bait, Dungeon Delvers, only as bait. I guess, Joe, I guess it's there for a reason. I don't know. I would allow Kender and Greyhawk just long enough to realize they had been teleported into some kind of an iron pipe about 1.5 feet diameter, and that they were extremely comfortable. And then the compression piston fires, and they're all reduced to hot jelly. I'd say, and then they're fed to demons, but I can't be that cruel to demons. I guess you could say I guess you could say the reason that I don't like Gender is they're cringe. Get it? Cringe. Are there any skill-based D100 systems I have any feelings about? Yes, Gonzalo Lira, there are. I love Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay First Edition. It's D100 based. They moved it all to D10 because parts of it are D10 based and parts of it are D100 based. I like the granularity. I feel the same way about Foss's Star Trek. And I quite like what else have I played that's D100 based? Oh, Boot Hill. I've seen a little bit, and Star Frontiers. Star Frontiers is what I meant to say. I've seen a little bit of Boot Hill, but Star Frontiers. you didn't like that, did you, Gonzalo? Oof. Cringe. Rollmaster. Would you like me to share my opinion, Rollmaster, with you, Gonzalo? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, the interlock systems were all D100, weren't they? It's I liked it when I was young. I'd have to go back and check it out now. One thing I would have to do with Cyberpunk 2020 is jettison the please don't sue me veneer. Like, you know, I just, yeah, no, I'm sorry. The bad guy company is Sony. That's not an Armalat SPD 12. That's a Remington shotgun, you know. I prefer the recognizable brand names. I think it gives it much needed gravitas, much needed verisimilitude. I think when you do stuff like, to me, I get it. Mike Pondsmith was dealing. I mean, you don't want to say Sony are the bad guys. Sony would have parked a legal Death Star over the guy's house, right? I get it. But to me, it's like when you're watching a science fiction TV show and they're like, you know, get the fracking Farquad hyperdrive working. It's like, you know, they want to say the fucking hyperdrive working again, you know? And it just, it doesn't land. Just don't curse then. Just don't curse. Just say in your whatever universe, they don't curse. So yeah, if I went back to Cyberpunk 2020 to play it for an extended period of time, I'd be like, look, we're just gonna go through the book with a light pencil writing over these names, you know. It's still Microsoft, it's still Apple, still Sony. I'd strip that. I'd have to. Oh, that is horrible, Damien. I'll have to ask him about that. We're friends over on Twitter. X. Excuse me. In my own campaign, of course, Cyberpunk 2020 can be the totalitarian holy state of McDonald's ruled by Ronald the 13th. Yes. Yes. That's one thing that I liked about Underground by Mayfair Games, which had absolutely just some of the best art ever. I don't know about the system much at all, but Underground was just like, yeah, this is Sony, this is Ford, this is Chevy, this is IBM, you know. They were completely unafraid. Or maybe I'm misremembering and they were. Anyway, guys, any final questions? It's been about an hour and I want dinner. So tomorrow night, 9 p.m., be here for first edition AD&D. You don't want to miss that. It's a ton of fun. Wednesday night, Thursday night, we'll deep dive. Oh, Dungeon Delvers. This is okay. I can answer this very quickly. So, cyberpunk is William Gibsonian style cyberpunk. There has been a slow slide into corporate fascism, also runaway libertarianism. Society has become increasingly stratified to the point where you are either an uber rich celebrity or you are dirt poor. And of course, it has all of the affect. Like, think Blade Runner. Blade Runner, the atmosphere of Blade Runner is cyberpunk. Shadowrun is basically at the millennium, at the year 2000. Understand, the game came out in like 1990, 1989 or 90. But at the year 2000, there was a grand cosmic rift, and it activated latent fairy powers in people. So some people turned into orcs, some people turned into elves, dragons became manifest, magic became real, but there was real there's also cyberpunk tech. So what if you cross Blade Runner with Lord of the Rings? That is what Shadowrun is. What if you cross Blade Runner with just watching Blade Runner? Do owl bears eat spaghetti? I'm about to find out here in a couple of minutes. More and more you guys are hopping on. But I do need to get. So it's like present day. Yes, it's a lot like present day. So I'll be back tomorrow night. One thing I want to tell you before I go, because more people are filing in and I feel terrible for just leaving, is that there's a little thing I like to do on our game nights, on our live play game nights, and hopefully you understand this. If you're watching the AD&D or the Gamble Roll live stream, I don't want you to sit there and just passively enjoy. I want you to comment in the chat. But also, if you have a question, why are you doing it that way? What's that person's class, race, whatever? If you have any questions within reason that I don't have to stop and take 20 minutes out of the game time to explain, I want you to ask the question. I want you to ask the question. This is participatory. It's not passive. Just ask away and I'll do my best to answer your question. So with that said, everybody, thank you for hanging out tonight. Big, huge, big thank yous to Hager the Horrible, Gonzalo Lira's Bar Tab, and Joe Kaufman. Thank you so much for the supers. You never have to super chat questions, guys. You never have, like, I don't want to get passed by. But thank you for the super chats. You literally help keep the lights on, studio and otherwise. Thank you all for subscribing to the channel. Please subscribe harder if you want. I'm gonna go get some dinner, and I better be careful, because I'm not only gonna go get some dinner. If I'm not careful, I'm going to be dinner courtesy of an owl bear. Peace. Good night. Love you all.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.